Clara had waited for years. The war had stolen so much from so many, but it had stolen Edward from her in a way that left no trace of him, no body to bury, no funeral to attend. His ship had gone down in 43, and a telegram had arrived, though not as it should have. It wasn't news of his death, no. It was simply a note, a line stating that the ship was lost, the crew presumed gone. That was all. She had folded the paper, placed it in her drawer, and closed it, as if it might somehow open itself to a better ending. But it never did. She stayed by the shore, though. She always did. The sea, she thought, held him somehow. And though the years had passed, each evening she waited, heart tangled in that old, impossible hope. On a sharp autumn evening in 1947, there came a knock. 3 raps, slow and deliberate, as if the visitor had paused to consider whether he should turn and leave. Clara stood, as though she knew what this moment was, and opened the door. He stood there, gaunt and weathered, the hardship written in lines across his face. His hair had gone to iron. His coat hung loose on a frame made lean by hunger and toil. But his eyes, the same deep, knowing blue, the same kindness. "Clara," he said, voice raspy as though it had not spoken for a long time. "I found my way back." She could hardly breathe. Where, what, happened? Her hands trembled at her sides, not knowing if they should reach for him, afraid that he might vanish as suddenly as he had appeared. "The ship went down," Edward said simply, his voice steady, though his gaze drifted somewhere far beyond her door. "There were 30 of us at first, clutching to wreckage, fighting the currents. By the time we washed ashore, there were 14. The island was small, jungle and rock mostly, with just enough fresh water to keep us alive, just enough fish to keep us from starving. We built shelters from palm and driftwood, lit signal fires that no one ever saw. Men grew sick. Some lost hope. We buried 5 in the sand before the year was out." His voice faltered. "But we held on, Clara. We told stories at night, names of the people we'd left behind, promises of what we'd do if we ever saw them again. That's what kept us breathing, the thought of home. And then, after 3 years, a ship appeared on the horizon. We were down to 6 by then. We burned everything we had left. Our shelters, our rafts, anything that would smoke. We screamed ourselves hoarse, waving what rags we had. They saw us. A small, breathless laugh, almost disbelieving even now. After all that time, Clara, they saw us." His hands found hers. They were rough and calloused, but warm. "And now I see you